Hello, this is Cat Alexander, and welcome to my weekly whatever stream of Final Fantasy XIV. And I got myself Blitzen. Good old reindeer with Christmas presents. Woohoo! Merry Pissmas to all you piss ants. I got presents. Anyway, speaking of presents, did I win the lottery? Let's find out. Gold saucer time. I would have streamed earlier, but I had to do a shopping run before the stream. Had to go all the way out of town to get some shit. And well, it was annoying and... Oh, it's 8? Ooh! 8? I can do anyway the wind blows before getting the lottery done. Okay. Come on, load faster, game. Thank you. I have a date with Typhon, and I don't want to be I don't want to be late. Ugh, tongue-tied. Come on. Let me on. Woohoo! Made it! I'm here! Holy shit. Probably wondering why I haven't been streaming for a week, even though I said I'd be streaming The Legend of Dragoon. Well... let's just say... I got tunnel visioned again. I was like, woo! I'm so close! I'm finishing Persona 4 Gold and getting the New Game Plus playthrough set up for that way I can start playing Crisis Core. So, I finished Persona 4 Golden's main story, and then I have a New Game Plus file set up with an all social links playthrough that I plan on doing in my own time. And then Crisis Core came out like the next day, and then Crisis Core sucked up my life. It happens. Don't worry, though, I'm in the post-game of Crisis Core as well. And, yeah. That and, well, my cat Sage died, as I said on my Legend of Dragoon stream, the last one I did. So, still kind of grieving, even though that wasn't really the reason. I'll be honest, the real reason was I was playing Crisis Core and Persona 4 Golden all week. But, yeah, felt like I needed a personal break. So I took it. And I'm gonna get knocked off for being blunt. Yay! Woohoo! This is what I get for being honest. I should have lied and said, I don't know, I was being hunted by evil FBI agents or something. I don't fucking know. That's why I don't lie that much. It's really hard to come up with a convincing one. Besides, the truth is so much more triggering and offensive to people. Woohoo! 4th prize! The most I've ever gotten is 4th prize. It's annoying, but it is what it is. $1776. Purchase. 1860. Good old Civil War. And then finally, if I'm right, 2024, Civil War II, Electric Boogaloo. What? You thought these were random numbers? No. Oh, I do the draw at 6 p.m. I thought it was 7. Oh, I could have started way earlier. Ah, well, it is what it is. Anyway, let's check the Wondrous Tales. I need more stickers to shuffle this around. I need at least 2 lines. I mean, come on. Preferably 3, but I'll settle for 2. Eesh. Eesh. Well, I'm gonna do some dailies while I'm thinking about it. Ooh, Alliance raids. Might as well. Join. They need DPSers. I get participation credit. Sounds good to me. Okay, and when's the next minigame and what is it? Where is the fate? Ooh. Fate. Gatekeeper. Yeah, okay, there we go. Finally see where they're at. Shadow Dark Coffee. I like my coffee like I like my Al Raw. Black and dark and edgy. That's how I imagine this guy. Ooh, cliffhanger, 9 p.m. I'll deal with that later. Right now, I want to Kafaka. Hello, Gilgamesh. I'm about to punch you in the face. Bruising. Anyone who says size doesn't matter is delusional. And they're just trying to cope with either a small equipment downstairs, or they're trying to cope with the lack of a sizable equipment upstairs, depending on their gender, if you know what I mean. Size doesn't matter. Flat is justice. It doesn't matter how long your stick is. It's about the motion of... Nah, all that's bullshit. We all know the truth. You're trying to score a mate? Bigger is better. I mean, women wouldn't stuff their bras and men wouldn't overcompensate for the lack of girth downstairs if it wasn't if that was actually true. I mean, oh, size doesn't matter. Yeah, sure. Keep telling yourself that. It's shallow, but hey, human biology is based off of a lot of shallow shit. Sad but true! Wow. The monkey brain goes, ooh, big breasts. Good. Size. Filled with lots of milk. Good for rearing children. Must mate with her. Flat? Eh. Not too young, not developed, not right. Ignore. Literally how the monkey brain works. Okay, done Scathe for the billionth time! Oh crap, I hate this place. I hate Dunscaith. Oh. At least it drops those tombstones, which can get me some mounts, but still, you know the reason SC put the tombstones on this Alliance raid out of all of them, because it's everyone's least favorite. Everyone bitches, oh, Nier sucks, or Goliath for the billionth time, or oh, it's Crystal Tower again? But we all know, as soon as you see Void Ark, everyone's like, nope, nope, get me the fuck out of here. I'd rather be an Oculus. Get me out of here. It's like, I mean, seriously, Void Ark is the Alliance raid equivalent of Oculus in this game. The only difference is people just do it anyway because they're polite and they realize some new player needs to do it for the story and they're like, well, okay, fine, I'll help. But I'm not going to enjoy it. So, yeah. This is basically the Alliance Raid equivalent of Oculus. No one wants to do this, and when they get it, it's either A, they're doing it for the first time, or B, they've already done it for the first time, and they're like, ah! Not this one! Get me out of here! Why? Who thought this was a good idea? Who put this in the game? Why did they hate me? And to be honest, Dun Scaith is my least favorite of all the Void Ark raids. It is my least favorite. Oh! I really do not like Dun Scaith. This door boss feels like someone's kicking me down like a door every time I'm here. I mean, don't get me wrong, Death Gaze is cool. Kinda. Ish. I mean... Okay, I'll be honest. The only Death Gaze fight I like is the one in FF9. I'll be honest with you. Not the biggest fan of Death Gaze. And this is my least favorite iteration of Death Gaze. I'd unironically rather play FF6 again and chase this motherfucker across the world map like a dog on amphetamines looking for a bone than fight this guy once. I'd rather just fly around the world map looking for the lesser, easier version of this dude. Then fight this dude in this game. I just don't like it. Oh, and this is why I don't like it. Random ice placement. Woohoo! Sometimes you're just too far away. Yay! Fucking Death Gaze. Yay me. Hate this stupid thing. Ow. Why couldn't I have gotten near, or Crystal Tower, or Aglaia, or the FF12 raids? I mean, they're kind of mechanically annoying as well, but at least it has the FF12 soundtrack, so I mean, come on! Like, how can you hate FF12? How can you hate Ivalice? I mean... may not have the leading man in the storyline, but they have Fran. I mean, the last one has Fran. I mean, I'm just saying, I'd rather party up with Fran than go to Dun Scaith again. May not be the Fran I know. I mean, it's FF14 Fran, not to be confused with FF12 Fran, even though they look the same and have the same, I think, voice actor and a similar storyline. Literally, Fran hiding out in the sewers of Rabanastre, working for the Resistance. But still, I mean, which I compare, I say similar, but not the same, because Fran in FF12 was not a part of the Resistance. She was Balthier's assistant and a sky pirate, so technically different Fran, but whatever, you get my point. It's inspired by the source material. Heavily inspired. Hell, it's so heavily inspired by the source material, I wouldn't be surprised that Gabranth is still alive, and they did the opposite of what happened at the end of 12, and Bosch was killed off instead. I have no proof that's what happened, but in the short story that supposedly ended the Bozja and FF12 themed story arc, someone killed Gabranth, one of his underlings, on his order, supposedly. It wouldn't surprise me if he had a twin brother just like the source material and he faked his death. He's going to show up later. Like 2 years later. We're in the middle of Meracidian 7.0 and just, what do you know? We just happened to see Noah von Gabranth chilling in Meracidia, doing what Hitler did after World War II, on vacation in discount South America. Just what a coincidence! I mean, I thought he was murdered, assassinated by his underling on his order. You mean the dude faked his death? Nah, that would be weird. Just like you're being paranoid, just like all the Imperials are being overly paranoid when they think a Dalmascan knight or whatever replaced Judge Gabranth as the Judge Magister defending Lord Lhasa. I mean, what do you mean he has a twin brother? That's bullshit. Nah, it's not Bosch. Bosch is the one that died. You get the joke. It'd be like a reverse of the FF12 storyline. Like, Gabranth killed off Bosch, or Bosch was killed, and then Gabranth used his twin brother to fake his own death. I mean, it would be funny. I'm not saying that's what the plot line was going to be. I'm just saying it would be a convenient way to bring the Bozja storyline back at some point. They could do it. I'm just saying it works. It's faithful to the source material. I mean, it's not the first time a high-ranking member of the Empire had a twin brother that helped with the plot. It is what it is. I'm just saying, I genuinely think Gabranth faked his own death. I don't buy it. I read the short story and I still don't buy it. I read the short story in the Lodestone and I'm like, no. I mean, I'm sorry. Bullshit. There's no way that's just the end of the Bozja storyline because they didn't want to finish it in the game. Nah, that's not the end. No, come on, really? What's next? You expect me to believe Bosch assassinated the King of Dalmasca? Come on, we all know how that turned out. It's like, we all know it's the twin brother angle. Stop even pretending, SC. I've played the source material. I know Gabranth most likely has a twin brother just like in 12. Don't even try to fool me. Bosch is the one that died that day, not Gabranth. He old yellered his own brother to cover his ass. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it until something proves me wrong. I'm just saying, I smell bullshit. Okay. Take out Ferdiad Hollow. He's using wormholes. And then after this raid, well, actually, maybe I'll just talk about it now while I'm dead. Or it'll res me. Who cares? I'll just talk about it now anyway. Now I'm done ranting about FF12 and FF14 plot correlations. Time to rant about FF14 and FF4 plot correlations. Most specifically, some of the details revealed on the site about 6.3 and the plot and... Really? God damn it. Nowhere to stand. Don't stand in the site. Don't stand in the orange. Got it. Levitate over the battlefield, then don't stand anywhere. Oh wait, I can't do that. Anyway, the point I'm trying to say here is that in 6.3 we're helping out Alphinaud and Alisaie, and Garlemald dealing with some Reaper shit, it seems. There's a village of Reapers we're going to. Interesting. Well, I mean, if I was writing a convenient excuse for why Voidsent are suddenly appearing on the source that has nothing to do with the Archfiends and is totally coincidence that leads to something that is the overall plot with the Archfiends, I mean, a village of Reapers? Most likely tempered by the Tower of Babel, turning into summoning Voidsent or something out of crazy desperation to attack the evil Eorzeans occupying them in the name of Garlemald, glory be, and all that. I'm just saying, nice cover story. You could suddenly see an influx of Voidsent come out of nowhere, and everyone's like, well, they seem to be coming from this direction. Oh, there's a village of Reapers that are fucking around with Voidsent. We might want to call, the Warrior of Light and Zero, to deal with this problem. It's totally just a bunch of Reapers fucking around with the Void. It has nothing to do with Rubicante or Cognazzo's plan whatsoever, or Lugae, or the Tower of Babel for the most part, outside of a tempering angle. And it's totally just coincidence. It was going to happen anyway. It was bound to happen. I mean, what do you mean? That an Archfiend might be a cause of this. Yeah, sure, it's just leftovers from Fandaniel, I mean, what a coincidence! As you could tell by my FF12 rant, I don't believe in coincidence. Well, I do. I just believe it's a very rare, precious thing. Like miracles. They do occur, but I mean, come on. I mean, if you're not going to base your financial strategy on winning the lottery, then you aren't going to base your tactical strategy on coincidence, now are you? Of course not. You're just going to assume that someone is planning some shit and plotting against you because it makes way more sense than, oh look, what a coincidence! Oh, Washington D.C. was accidentally blown up by a nuclear bomb! Woohoo! What a coincidence! The Pearl Harbor's on fire! Totally not the Japanese! I mean, why would you think that? I mean, what a coincidence! No, coincidence is rare, precious, and rarely occurs, just like miracles. Usually, someone is doing some shady shit in the background, and that's why everything's on fire. Not just in fiction, but reality. Coincidence is bullshit. Coincidence is the cover story that every plotting and scheming asshole uses to cover their plotting and scheming. In order to gaslight you into thinking, well, maybe I'm just being paranoid. Yeah, and paranoid is good. Paranoid keeps you alive. I mean, I'm not saying the government is spying on you 24/7, but I am saying that guy who's constantly following you around 24/7 probably has a reason for following your ass around. And if he isn't a government agent, because you're probably not that important, he probably wants to mug you. Or if you're a streamer, maybe he recognized who you are. Or maybe there's like a 20 million different explanations other than the absolute most paranoid one, but it still pays to be somewhat paranoid of that and go, this guy's constantly fucking behind me. I wonder why. And I know I'm ranting, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Paranoia keeps you alive. Paranoia makes you go, this guy's following me. Clearly. Why? The reason for why he may be following you may be overly paranoid. And you might realize, oh, he's just following me because some other stupid reason. I don't know. Like, oh, like maybe you dropped your wallet and he's actually a nice guy and he's actually just trying to get your attention, but for whatever reason, because you're doing whatever it is you're doing in town that doesn't require money in your wallet, you keep going ahead of him, and he keeps following you, trying to catch up to you, and eventually when he catches up to you and you call him out for following you, like, he's like, oh, you dropped your wallet, here, this is yours. Like, oh, so it is, thanks, man. But that isn't coincidence, that's deliberate, because the guy's like, wait a second, this guy dropped his wallet, he might want that back. That's a deliberate attempt to follow you. Not for malicious intent, but it is still deliberate. There is no coincidence here. That's my point. It's like, coincidence does not really exist all that much in the real world or in fiction. Everything is deliberate. Even if it's not nearly as sinister as you might think it is, it's still deliberate. And in fiction, that is doubly true compared to real life. Because at least in real life, you can just go, oh, well, people are stupid. And they just don't realize how it's coming off, and they have no social awareness whatsoever. And it just seems like they're playing against you, but in actuality, they're just too stupid to realize how much they're hurting your bottom line. It's still not true coincidence. I mean, they're deliberately doing this shit, but they're just not smart enough to realize the consequences of their actions. So it's less malicious intent and more stupid intent. But there's still intent. No coincidence. No randomness to it. Whereas in fiction, it's usually a bit more deliberate and malicious when something shady happens in the background, because that's storytelling 101. So yeah. Do I think some shady shit is going on in that Reaper village? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do I think the Archfiends are involved? Damn straight. Why wouldn't they be? The Golbez story arc's going to be finished off in 6.4 according to Yoshi P. That means he has 2 patches to finish the storyline. He doesn't have time for coincidence. He has to get... He and his writing team have got to get huffing. Get moving. So... my money is some Archfiend shit's going on in Garlemald. That's what I'm betting on. As for which Archfiend's behind this Reaper Village shit, whether the Basement of the Tower of Babil is actually involved like I think it is, or whether that was just me overthinking it, and it's just the Reaper Village summoning them in somehow. No idea, but I know one thing, an Archfiend is involved somewhere. It has to be. There's only 2 more patches left to kill off 2 Archfiends. And Golbez. If they're going to finish it at the end of 6.4, they have to have at least 1 Archfiend show up now. So, conclusion, there's an Archfiend in Garlemald. Somewhere. They got here somehow. And we will find out by investigating that Reaper village in the mine next to it in order to figure out what the fuck they were doing to make that happen. Or whether or not they're just a red herring to obfuscate the basement of the Tower of Babil. Like, oh, Voidsent were summoned, it's kind of bad, but I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything Archfiend related like you might think, or related to your quest. It just seems to be Reapers playing with fire and getting burned. It is what it is. Nothing big is happening, but you might want to bring Zero and the Warrior of Light just in case. I mean, having all hands on deck might help. And then you find out, oh, good thing we brought the Warrior of Light and Zero. It turns out one of the Archfiends was here already. Or both of them. Maybe Rubicante and Cognazo will both be in 6.3. I'm just saying, that's where the plot seems to be heading. That's my thesis. I could be wrong. It could just be random Reaper shit. What a coincidence! That would be mildly infuriating, because that's the boring answer. Also, it means they have to cram Cognazzo, Rubicante, and Golbez into 6.4, which... I don't know, that would feel kind of rushed. FF14 doesn't really do that. They like to stretch shit out and be a bit more deliberate with their storytelling. So, I like to think that at least one Archfiend's showing up. And the end. Now, whether it's Cognazzo or Rubicante... Which one do I think it is? It could be either or. So which one... Will I win this coin flip? Which one is it? Well, everyone probably thinking Cognazzo because of all the ceruleum, and ceruleum is blue, but ceruleum was also the FF14 equivalent of oil and Mako, and with ceruleum functioning more like oil than Mako, which means it's highly flammable, which would imply Rubicante because Inferno and fire attribute. Also, everyone's assuming they're saving Rubicante for last, because he's the strongest Archfiend in FF4. And we wiped to... How the hell did we wipe? Oh, was it a tank fuck-up? How the hell did we wipe? Let me read. Oh! Tanks didn't tank the ad. Tanks fucked up. It was a tank fuck-up. Oh! Wasn't me. Wasn't me being distracted and missing something important. No, we still would have wiped even if I wasn't dead. Okay. Tanks really need to pick up the ads in that fight. Okay, okay. Wasn't me, we're good. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Where was I? Oh, yeah! It just seems to me, with the ceruleum being a thing, that it's probably Rubicante. Though if I was a betting man, I would say it's both Cognazzo and Rubicante. Even though there's only one trial. I mean, we technically killed Scarmiglione, not just as the last dungeon boss of 6.2, but we also killed him in a solo event with Zero. I mean... I'm just saying, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're fighting all the Archfiends as trial bosses, or dungeon bosses. We could just... Cognazzo is potentially weak enough to die in a solo fight, kind of like... Or a instant quest fight, kind of like Scarmiglione's undead form, or the second fight with Scarmiglione. I'm just saying. Though they could also have the Archfiend be the first boss of the dungeon. And everyone going, what? What's Cognazzo doing here? And you get the idea. Like, the Archfiends are behind this? And then we just fight the Reaper boss at the end of the dungeon. Or maybe what I think is the end of the dungeon isn't the end of the dungeon. It's kind of like Cutter's Cry in reverse, and we go into the dungeon, and it looks like the end of Cutter's Cry for the first boss, and we go through it kind of backwards. And in that case, the Reaper, it could be a red herring with the Reaper boss not being the last boss of the dungeon, but the first boss of the dungeon. Also, it would help mix up the dungeon layout a bit, because, I mean, after all, it's clearly derivative of Cutter's Cry due to being a ceruleum mine, and having the same dungeon from A Realm Reborn twice would be kind of boring. And FF14 has a tendency to mix things up if it's kind of repetitive, so we could be going through a backwards Cutter's Cry, in which case... Even though she looks like she's in the area where we would fight the Chimera, the last boss of Cutter's Cry, she's actually the first boss of the new dungeon. and Cognazzo's still the end boss. Or maybe Rubiconte's the end boss because it's Ceruleum, and the only reason he seems to be a threat is because he lights the oil on fire, and that's one of the mechanics. Like, Ceruleum is basically just oil. So, maybe going into a Ceruleum mine, which is basically a weird mixture of a coal and oil mine, is, I mean, fighting the Fire Archfiend in there would be kind of dangerous and would have some interesting mechanics. Like, there's patches of ceruleum ore on the ground, and if you stand in them, he lights them on fire, and you have to constantly keep moving. So Rubiconte could be the last boss. In fact, if I'm thinking about it from a gameplay standpoint, if an Archfiend was involved in the Ceruleum-themed dungeon, even though Ceruleum is blue, I still think it would be better to have have Cognazzo be the trial boss and Rubiconte be the dungeon boss because of the Ceruleum mine. It just makes sense. I mean, fighting the fire user in a coal mine would be a really interesting and dangerous encounter. And it would be one hell of a trap. You go in there thinking it's just some Reaper shit, you find out the Archfiends are involved, right at the last second in the deepest part of the Ceruleum mine. You're surrounded by flammable ore, and the Archfiend you're up against is the Archfiend of fucking fire. And you're like, oh shit! It would be one hell of a surprise for people who aren't paying attention. They're like, wait, what? We're in the coal mine surrounded by flammable shit, and the Archfiend of Fire is in here? Oh, no. I mean, now that would be a fun twist at the end of a dungeon. That's how I would do it. Get to the end of a dungeon, and you're like, we're fighting the Archfiend of Fire in the coal mine. Oh, fuck me. Not the Archfiend of Fire in the flammable area. Oh, no. The threat level has gone up. We're no longer just fighting Scuff Ifrit anymore. We're now fighting Scuff Ifrit in a coal mine. Oh, no. And not only that, he has a cloak which can absorb shit if we're not careful, so... Oh, no. Hell, you could literally have the second boss just be resurrected members of Eulis's family. Kind of like what happened with Edge in FF4, and you just have Eulis lose his fucking shit on Rubiconte at the end. Like, there's a scene at the end. Or maybe you just have Rubiconte be the trial boss. And save Cognazzo for 6.4. Cognazzo and Golbez for 6.4, you know? Yeah, and the more I think about it, the more I think the trial might actually just be Rubiconte. Rubiconte may not even be a dungeon boss. It might be something related to Eulis in the last bit of it. God damn it. I'll be right back. I need to go to the restroom. Shit. Well. Hopefully they won't kick me. Okay, I'm back. Woohoo! What the hell? What the hell happened there? Music paused. Anyway. Oh. Damn. Freaking candy bar I ate. Might as well just head on inside, make myself useful. Oh, freaking candy bar. Went through me. It was either that or the chicken fries I got from Burger King. One of the two. Oh. Okay. Keep the pressure on Diablo's Hollow. Whoop. Hollow Nightmare. Look away. What the hell? Uh-oh, look away. Damn. Critical gravity. Well, yeah. My money's on Rubicante. Being the next Archfiend we face. Either that or Rubicante Incognazo. Damn it! First my bowels and now my nose. Earthshaker. The end has come. Ah, another ending. Ah, good. Woohoo! They didn't kick me. Holy crap. Pass. Greed. 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 Pass. 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 And pass. I could use the MGP if no one needs the cards to the collection. I'm just saying. Okay. Any day now. Would someone kindly make a decision on the loot? I mean, would people kindly roll, you know, sometime this millennium? Before I grow old, die, get reborn, grow old, and die again. There are unironically people who believe in reincarnation that aren't me, who are annoyed at you because they think, oh, someone else has gotten mad. Roll! Fucking roll! Roll call! Roll, please. Roll call. Look, if someone's thinking they can get like a free loot, I have bad news for them. I'll stand here until the timer goes down to 0. I'm one of those assholes that I know your game. It's like, well, if I don't roll, everyone will just get annoyed and go, I don't want it that badly and leave, and I'll get all the good shit for myself. Yeah, about that. I'll stay until the timer goes down to 0 to counteract that bullshit out of spite. Good. You forget, you're dealing with a gamer who spends all day playing games. I have no life. I can wait the timer out, just like you. And I will, to make sure people get what they rolled on. I know that trick. Zola's trick in the book, and I'm not falling for it. It's like, it's a glitch. I can't. Where? And every time I say roll, and someone's like, oh, it's a glitch. I already rolled. I passed. Sorry. I guess we'll just have to wait out the timer. I'm like, okay, fine. I can wait. And as soon as I say that, they just roll, and then everyone goes on their way. Because, believe it or not, it wasn't a glitch. They were trying to pull a fast one on you to get the loot. Unfortunately, this is 2022, and what they view as a fast one is actually a very slow one. As in, I've seen this before. I've already figured out ways to counter it. And, well, I'm way ahead of you. So yeah, just roll and get your loot. Don't even try to pretend that it's a glitch. I know you're lying. And even if you aren't lying, I'm willing to stay. So, either way, I'm not falling for it. I could just let the timer run out and see what happens. I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts you're full of shit. Well, I'll do one more expert dungeon before ending the stream. I could shuffle these. Shuffle? Yeah, 2 lines are possible. Okay. 2 lines are possible. There's no guarantee I'll get the 2 lines, but better than nothing. 2 lines are possible. Operation 2 lines is a go. I need a level 90 dungeon to add to my Wondrous Tales anyway. I might as well add it now on stream. See if I can get at least 1 line on stream. Or I can just keep going until I can get the Wondrous Tales completed for the week. And then end the stream. Yeah, this will be a Wondrous Tales stream. I'll just do that. Easy, easy, lemon squeezy. Though I would need a level 80 dungeon or level 51 to 59 leveling dungeon. Commence! Time to do an expert. And it's the Fell Court of Troya yet again. Someone's like, no way! Again? I'm like, yes, again. And I'm changing the music to something a bit more FF related. There we go. Weight of the World! Let's go! Okay, soften them up. Run for it. Run through this area. Get everyone lined up and ready to go to be cleaved down. There we go. Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved. You can tell I've been playing Crisis Core a little too much when I've got that stuck in my head for all time again. Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved. You can also tell how I've been finishing shit lately with Costly Punch, baby. Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved. Yep, all I did was just punch it. Really? Really hard. It's the best way to deal with your enemies. You would think killing shit with your giant sword would be the effective way to kill shit in Crisis Core, but no! Costly Punch for the win. Buster Sword too slow and unwieldy. Big, meaty fist is way to go. Ooga booga, pummel! Oops, I didn't soul so. Ah, well. It is what it is. Dreamers? How dreamy. Whoop, get the hell out of there. Okay. Target. Time for some Grim Reaping. Communio! Boof! There we go. Gluttony! took every last drop of their ether. Oh no. Ow, dark vision. Okay. Just keep building that up. Really? More evil oh, finally! The big ad! The mini boss after the ad wave. Excellent! About fucking time. Ah, good. Oh, my nose is itching. Penitence is no longer sealed. Well, that's what I get for being penitent. Pass. I don't need slaying. Troyan's Circlet of Defending. Greed. Maybe my Gunbreaker can use it, maybe they can't. No, actually, I don't think they can use it now I think about it. I think they have the Pandemonium normal helmet, which is better. Yeah, my Gunbreaker is technically my second most geared job outside of my Reaper. I occasionally like tanking. I just like playing DPS on stream because, well, less thought goes into it. Thus, I'm a Reaper main for content creation purposes. That, and there's something cool about murdering people with a scythe. Casting. Now, that could be good for a caster. Oh, I already possess one. Pass. Never mind, I think I've already looted that for my casters. Okay. Well. So much for caster loot. Death's design. Time to reap. Reap. Now I'm imagining a giant electric sheep Pokemon with a scythe. You know, that's what they need. Oh, that's what Pokemon needs to add for Generation 10. An electric dark type Mareep with a scythe. Get it? Mareep. Well, I thought it was a cool idea for a regional variant. I'm just saying, it's Mareep. Electric Dark. What do you mean that pun's terrible? I think it would work. I mean, they already have a Pokemon with a hammer. Why not just give a Mareep variant with a scythe? I'm just saying. Teleport. Thankfully, they all go off in order, so you teleport to the one that goes off last, and then you just keep going until that one's about to go off and then you leave. Blade Shaker is... Ooh. Oh no, please don't tell me my bowels are acting up again. I can make it through the dungeon, I have to. I think I can make it. Deathful Scene dodged. Spread. Did it. Okay. How could this be? How could you resist my gaze? I'm blind. The eyeball only muddles people who aren't blind. You have to look at it, but if you're never looking at it, think about it. Didn't pass. Agreed. There we go. Okay, almost finished with this dungeon. Whew. Damn, that almond toffee candy bar was good, but holy crap, it seems to be going through me. Oh no. It's just ads. I'm sorry. Oh crap, I'll let them know. BRB, bio. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, fuck. And I'm back. Holy fuck. Oh, damn. Sudden emergency bio break. Hey, at least I got my soul so off. Better late than never. Oh, I feel so much better. It was mostly a gas bubble. That's just pathetic. Here I am, doubled over in pain, thinking a massive deluge is coming, and it's just mostly gas.
Breathe deep of your death.
Frickin' candy bar. Tasted good though, almond toffee. Oh, so good. Okay. Pop it and go. Oh. What? Your blade thirsts for blood? Lame. Imagine thirsting for blood. Couldn't be me. Communio blasted. Woo. Creeping decay again. Ah, there we go. The Necrosurfs. Necrosurfs. They farm cotton. Not just any cotton. Zombie cotton. All the hot pips that are put in the PC box to starve and die because they're worthless and not competitively viable in Pokemon. Guess who farms them? The Necrosurfs. Okay. Stand here. What? Scarmiglione will not be defeated by me. What do you think, bitch? Okay, stack on me. Blade dance. I don't even need the damage buff. I'm finishing you right now. Didn't even make it to my first Communio. Heh, it is what it is. Excellent. Ooh, a wind-up Scarmiglione I'll take. Yoink. Greed, I guess. 68. Come on! It's mine! I'll take the wind-up Scarmiglione. Yoink! That's mine. There's a minion on this? What the fuck? Yeah, there's a minion, and it's mine now. To wind up Scarmiglione. Already had the Beatrice card. Can now summon the wind up Scomiglione. Might as well put this sticker in and... Fucking really? Well, I'll get at least one line. Maybe. Anyway. Well, I got Duty Roulette Expert done. That's nice. That's lovely. Level 50, 60, 70, 80 dungeons. Let's try that. Maybe I'll get a level 80 dungeon and be able to fill out that Wondrous Tales and get at least one line. Leap of Faith? No, I'll just turn in the Beatrice card. No, that's not it. Where is the Triple Triad Trader? There we go. Trade it in. Might as well teleport to Rosetan. You are unable to leave the area because your dungeon queue popped. Okay, level 80 dungeon. It's a level 7! I always get the fucking Gimlet Dark! Every single fucking time I queue up for one of these, it's the Gimlet fucking Dark! Why is everyone in Stormblood? Ugh. Fucking A! It's not... If it was just multiple different Stormblood dungeons, I'd be like, I'd be okay with it. But it's always the Gimlet Dark! There is no variety! It's like, why? Why is this my eternal hell? Okay. Die already. Woohoo! Okay. Time to reap and reap again. I would love to get Never Reap one of these days on my Reaper organically on stream. I love defying the fucking system. Never Reap, huh? I do what I want, game. Can't tell me what to do. Not a part of your fucking system. Never Reap. Okay, first boss. Knowing my luck, I might end up having to do the twinning. But I'll give leveling roulette a try. I mean, I could get a 51 to 59 dungeon. It could happen. I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to have to queue up for what I want manually, because no one is doing what I want to do for my Wondrous Tales, because that's just how it works. Cerulean Vent. Ah, venting. How sus. How wonderfully sus. Anyway, time to die! Move. Move again. And we're going the other way! Spin to win. Spin to win. This brings a whole new meaning to Dungeon Roulette. Just saying, we keep spinning the win. Maybe that's the joke. Maybe that's the reason why everyone does the Gimlet Dock in Dungeon Roulette. Who am I kidding? It's probably just random bullshit. The universe hates me. Anyway, time to kill these ads. I wonder why they're called ads when the strategy is subtracting them. I'm just saying. Every single time there's ads in a game, I'm always subtracting them. There's no addition here, only subtraction. I swear, whoever makes gaming terminology has failed mathematics. Time to die. Pass.
I shan't hold back.
Okay. They've called for reinforcements. Again. Fucking Garland's always calling for more reinforcements. How many of these idiots do I have to kill before they just stop calling for reinforcements? You know, we keep losing every time we call in more people, so let's just not call in more people. I take one look at these giant robot scorpions and I think, if this was Crisis Core, I'd be constantly punching them down. Maybe one shot would be so easy. Alas, I do not have costly punch in this game. They should really give that to monks. Yes, it would be busted, but who cares? I really want to sacrifice my monk's HP in order to punch something really hard. I mean, technically, Touch of Death exists in WoW, and that's a monk ability. Might as well give him Costly Punch. Just make it like Touch of Death. It only works on certain enemies, and it's based around the monk's HP. There you go. Problem solved. Costly Punch him down. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Not the first time I've had FF7 references in FF14. They might as well just put another one in. Fuck it. Okay. Needle gun. Oil shower. I find it hilarious the attack is called oil shower, but it's probably a ceruleum shower. Thus feeding into my earlier point of ceruleum basically being coal plus oil. Plus Mako fused together into one fictional concept. And head over here, over here, over here. Don't stand in the fire! Dodge! Actually, I think the healer was lit on fire. Not dodged, but survived somehow. It's better to be lucky than good. Especially in Crisis Core. That slot roulette up in the corner of the screen is your friend. You'd be surprised how many fights I've won in Crisis Core that I shouldn't have won just due to the digital mind wave favoring me.
You underestimate me.
I'm about to wipe. Never mind. No, I'm not. The random bullshit has rolled in my favor. The slots have come up a winner. This is completely unrealistic, because if this was real life, I'd lose because of the slot machine, not win. Because let's face it, I'm not hitting that jackpot anytime soon. Contrary to what Yosetsu says to Yotsuyu in the storyline of this game, gambling is my vice. Drinking was never my vice, though. I mean, why get drunk when you can just gamble? I mean, life's a gamble. Might as well just gamble. Never understood the appeal of getting drunk, though. Every time a place has booze, I don't understand the appeal of it. I do not get why people drink. I get why people gamble. I mean, life, as I said, life itself is technically a gamble. Everything is RNG to a certain extent. So playing a game based around RNG makes sense to me. I mean, why wouldn't you? All games are technically based around RNG. Even the ones that you cannot possibly lose are based around RNG. And you're probably going, what do I mean by that? If you can't possibly lose, then it's 100% chance of victory, right? Actually, that's not how probability works, because probability factors in all variables, not just in-game ones. Like, for example, you have a 100% chance of winning the scripted fight in FF7 at the end, you know, with Sephiroth. Even if you don't hit a button, you will still win. It's completely 100% scripted. You can't lose. It's a story fight. But if the power were to go out, guess what? You technically are so unlucky that you have technically have lost a scripted fight that you supposedly couldn't lose because the power went out. And, well, you never got the ending, so you have to do it again. So you technically wiped due to a lack of power in your house. And since that counts as a wipe, I know what some people would say. It's like, well, that's technically not a wipe. But I'm like, technically it is, because in a lot of online games, if you get disconnected or your power goes out, which counts as the same as being disconnected, all the cooldowns associated with losing get triggered when you get kicked from the server, so in a lot of online games. So technically you did lose. So you can apply the same logic to that situation and realize you couldn't actually lose that scripted Sephiroth fight. All you have to do is pull the power plug. It's technically correct reasoning when you think about it. I mean, if it's good enough for Call of Duty, like DMZ, it's good enough for, well, Final Fantasy. You technically lost. You didn't win. You didn't get the ending. You didn't clear it. The power went out before you did. You lost. That's my point. Even things that seem like a sure thing are not sure things. They're just more likely to occur than others. But hey, if you can win due to random bullshit, you can lose due to random bullshit. That's my point. Like right now, I could theoretically lose this fight by the power going out or being disconnected and kicked from the group by the time the internet comes back up. Just saying. So yeah, I get why people gamble because, well, nothing is ever truly certain. If nothing is ever truly certain, then you can't say that you're not a gambler unless you're chronically afraid of uncertainty. But if you're chronically afraid of uncertainty, I have bad news for you. You're chronically afraid of everything. I mean, it's like agoraphobia. I'm afraid of going outside. Yes, but outside is a metaphysical concept. You're not afraid of going outside, you're afraid of wide open spaces. Or going into vulnerable spaces that you don't have control over. I mean, if you live it, I mean, technically, if you're afraid of going outside because it's a wide open space, you could be inside a mansion, a ballroom that's like bigger than my house, and still have your agoraphobia triggered, technically, even though you're technically inside in an enclosed space, because it's so massive it might as well not be. Conversely, if the reason you're afraid of going outside is because you're afraid of interacting with other people, because you had a negative experience, you were attacked, assaulted, whatever, and you feel safe inside, it doesn't matter if you're inside or outside, you're going to feel really unsafe when you realize, wait a second, this hole I've been cowering in this whole time isn't safe. Someone could just pick the lock and, you know, kill me at any time. And when you think about that, logically, if anything, it goes from goes from agoraphobia to just blatant fear of death. Irrational fear of death. Like, I'm not sure what the phobia name for that would be, but basically, it would advance due to logical reasoning. Because if you think about it, the only reason you feel safe is because of a delusion that is not based in reality, aka you feel safe in your own house because it's your house. But anyone could enter your house at any time with the right tools, and therefore, you aren't safe anywhere. And once you realize that, you have two options. acknowledge the fact you aren't safe anywhere, and that some places are safer than others, and calm down and realize that you aren't always going to be attacked 24/7, and just deal with it as it comes, which is what most reasonable people, including myself, do, or you go even further down the phobia rabbit hole and become terrified of existence. There is no in-between. You either become more terrified or you realize how irrational you're being. It's like, oh no. And if it's a fear of wide open spaces, like an irrational fear of just like massive open areas, kind of like Aerith's fear of the sky, which is a weird fear to have, but I mean, okay. At least she's unique as far as FF characters go, and actual humans as well. I mean, I've never met anyone other than in fiction or reality, I might add, that's afraid of the fucking sky. That's a very specific phobia for a, not just for a person, but for a character as well. I mean, that's like being afraid of every 13th pixel specific on the screen. You know, it's just, okay! Very specific irrational phobia. That's a new one! I mean, you would it's just one of those cases. There are just some phobias that are so fucking asinine and ridiculous sounding when you hear them out loud. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You automatically become judgmental because you can't even conceive of the situation that caused the psychological trauma to begin with to make them afraid of this thing. It's like, you are so far removed from their worldview and their understanding of reality that you're just like, what is wrong with you? How did you get to this point? I'm missing some need-to-know information here. Even the therapists, even though they're not going to be overly judgmental openly and verbally, are going to be thinking to themselves, well, this is an interesting case and a tough one to crack. Can you tell me a bit more about your life? I mean, I needed to know a bit more about you in order to help you overcome your condition. Thinking to themselves, this gotta be bullshit. They're trolling me. They're paying money to troll me. There's no way they have this very specific phobia. This is stupid. It's like, please, either trying to catch them on a lie or to understand the truth. One of the two. Like, please, explain to me how we got here, because I don't even know. Empathy has limits. Empathy requires you to understand the subject you're empathizing with, and you are so different from everyone else, I can't even figure you out. You're gonna have to explain some shit. I feel like I'm missing some details. It's like, I'm at A, you're at Z, and I need all the letters in between to get to where you're at and understand how to help you. So, please explain. It's like, okay, let's try leveling roulette. Worst case scenario, I end up doing the twinning on the stream to end the stream. So I want to finish the Wondrous Tales on stream. That, and I haven't streamed in a while, so I feel like going for a bit of length, even though I normally go for an hour of FF14. The slice is right. Woo! Where is the guy? Oh, over there. The slice is right. Nice. It is time to brave Yojimbo's challenge and survive the legendary Zamato. Not even Penance, the strongest boss in all of Final Fantasy X, can pull this off. Not even Yojimbo himself can survive his own bullshit. Can I? The answer to that is no, but I will see how much I can last in the boss fight. Manderville Mumbo. Come on, Yojimbo. Kill me. Kill me, motherfucker. In me. Ah, Elon Musk just tweeted a photo. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about. Assholes attacking Elon Musk's children. That's just not okay. And then trying to go, oh, I thought you believed in freedom of speech. But you don't like it when people track your location, the location of your family, and hunt you down like a rabid dog? I thought you believed in freedom of speech and expression. I mean, I believe in freedom of speech and expression, but I also believe people have a right to their privacy. I mean, some idiots would try to argue, doxing is free speech, but no, it really isn't, because you're basically sicking a pack of wild hounds onto people you don't like by revealing their name and home location and their address, everything, you know. So no, actually, I view that as the same way as I view incitement to violence. Like, go out there and murder everyone. Why? Because I said so. That's not freedom of speech. You should not be allowed to unironically advocate for people dying, but... I mean, there's a difference between freedom of speech, aka having an opinion that offends people, that is absolutely fucking retarded and stupid, using words that they find offensive, and actually going, okay, kill everyone I don't like. Or, hey, this guy I don't like and you don't like, he's over there and he lives there, and the key to his house is under the mat. Go have fun. There's a difference. The fact that so many people don't understand that difference is a sign of the inevitable civil war and bloodshed, in my opinion, to come. Because let's face it, if these people aren't smart enough to realize the difference between saying you don't like someone and telling your fans to go after them, then they aren't smart enough or moral enough to cohabitate with the people they don't like in that civilization as a whole, and they're inevitably going to attack the people they don't like in cold blood. Simply put, violence between Faction A and Faction B becomes inevitable because Faction A does not understand or agree to the principles of Faction B and cannot coexist. And ideologies that cannot coexist are inevitably result in conflict. It is what it is. So yeah, that's why I think there's going to be a second U.S. Civil War, because one half the nation thinks it's okay to dox people you don't like, and the other half of the nation thinks that there's limits to what you can and can do to people you don't like. Like, you can't just punch, murder, shoot, and otherwise act like a degenerate around people you don't like. They're still people.
All seems in order with the lens, and I trust you can hear me.
And in order for a civilization to function, both parties have to agree not to murder each other in the streets just because of minor disagreements or because of ideological differences. If that agreement cannot be fulfilled, it does not matter if your society is tradition-based or a social contract society like the U.S., violence is inevitable. Inevitable. Tongue-tied, sorry. Because, well, Coexistence is the key to a functional civilization. That's what makes it a civilization to begin with, instead of just a random group of assholes who all hate each other and want to shank each other in the street for shits and giggles. In order to be a group of people, an organization, a nation, a faction, a cult, a religion, a corporation, a business, a insert name for group of people here, all group people in said group must agree to the principles of the group. Period. The end. If everyone has a different idea of what should be done, nothing will ever get done as a group unit, and the group unit will lose cohesion. The end! This has nothing to do with social contract versus traditional societies. This is just human nature. If there is no unifying principle leading people towards one goal, then there is no unity. If there is no unity, then it is by definition not a group. Which is why Anonymous is not a group or a terrorist organization. Anonymous is a random fucking handle of that hackers use because it's funny. There is no unifying principle with Anonymous, and therefore Anonymous by definition cannot be a terrorist organization in the traditional sense. Because there is no unity. There is no unifying principle. There is no shared goal. Shared enemy. Shared friends. Everyone is just out for themselves, and anyone can be anonymous. And if anyone can be anonymous, then no one's anonymous. That's the perfect example of my point. Just because they're all hackers doesn't mean they're all on the same team. That's not a unifying principle. That's not how that works. And this is the thing that always irks me whenever someone's like, oh, republics are better than traditionalist monarchist societies, or we should have a more libertarian society, or we should basically have a monarchy, or we should have this, or we should have that. Every single form of government or social organization is prone to failure. Why? Because humans are prone to failure. That is my point. That is what I am getting at here. There is no one governmental setup that works better than every other, because people have to agree to the principles stated, or they have to be at least coerced via violence, and to begrudgingly agree to the principles and stop all attempts at resistance. If no one agrees on the set of unifying principles, then there are no unifying principles. It does not matter what those are. It does not matter if you have a guy calling himself the king versus an elected official calling themselves the president. It does not matter how they got there, who supposedly chose them, whether it was God or the people. If no one agrees that that person is in charge, that guy is not in charge, because no one will follow his orders, and there is therefore no unifying principle, and your civilization collapses. So all the people going, democracy has become cringe, it's basically the god that failed, we should have this, or we should have that. You're missing the whole point. You're trying to find a one-size-fits-all solution that doesn't fuck you over. Spoiler alert, there is only one way to do that. There is only one solution, in my opinion, that works to stop that. And that is any solution you can get enough people to agree to. That's it. That's the point I'm trying to get across. It does not fucking matter what you think works. If everyone else prefers something else, guess what you're getting? Something else. This is why people mistakenly go, well, that's why democracy is inevitable, because, well, everyone, the majority inevitably of people and their beliefs and what shared metaphysics they believe in inevitably determines the outcome, so democracy is inevitable. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if enough people believe that the monarch is chosen by God and therefore should lead them onto the morrow, guess what? You live in a monarchy, whether you like it or not. You could be the one pro-Republican asshole in the entire nation. Guess what? No one's listening to you. Conversely, you could believe that the king has value, a king has value, and that the monarchy is good. But if everyone around you is like, yeah, I'd rather have a republic, fuck the king, then guess what? You are no longer living in a monarchy, you are living in a republic.
The ether is too dense. I'm losing you.
That's my point. If everyone agrees you are in a type of system, you are in that type of system, whether you like it or not. It's basically what I'm saying is technically all governmental systems are technically forms of democracy. It's just there is no formalized voting process or anything to... Basically what I'm saying is it's always been majority rule and it will always be majority rule. All societies are based around consent. Now sometimes that consent is gathered by the sword or the gun, but it's still consent nonetheless. It's kind of a morally frowned on version of consent that in a Western court of law won't get you very far. I mean, you can't really say that the woman you had sex with consented when you put a gun to her and said, drop your pants. I mean, that's not... legally speaking, that's not consent. But my point I'm trying to say is they didn't want to die, so they dropped their pants. So, I mean, even though it's technically legally not consent, it's still a type of consent. It's just a type of consent that is morally frowned upon and considered unacceptable in our civilization by a majority of people. And therefore, it is not valid. Basically, what I'm saying is people will agree to whatever they will agree to, and there is no rhyme or reason to it. It's all preference. And yes, I do realize what I'm saying is going to piss off a lot of moral absolutists who are like, but my morality! And? Does everyone else share your morality? No, you're on your own? Do you have absolute power to enforce your morality on everyone else? No, they hold all the power. Guess what? No one cares. You're not in charge, buddy. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked, and that's how it always will work. It's not he who votes or he who counts the votes that has all the power. It's whether or not the people, even the people in charge, even acknowledge the votes as valid to begin with. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say here is it's not he who counts the votes that's in charge, it's he who has the gun that's in charge. One group of people voted for this guy. The other guy, the people counting the votes, said, actually no, the other guy wins. But then the military says, holy crap, we can't have that, now can we? No, the guy who actually won the election, pulls out the gun and puts it to the head of the guy counting the votes and says, count them again, dumbass. Who's in charge? You guessed it, the guy that the military said is in charge. Because they're the guys with all the guns, and therefore they're the ones determining how the vote really went down. Conversely, it can happen the other way in a military coup, for example. where the people's will is violated by the military. And the people are, and the person counting the votes are like in sync, but the military's like, no, the other guy won. Why? Because we say so. What are you going to do? Bleed on us? You get my point, right? I know what some people would say. That's a might makes right argument. No. My argument is there is no right. Except what you believe to be right. And therefore, right actually makes might because, well, the people who believe they're right and everyone else is wrong are more likely to put up a fight than the people who believe they're wrong. And therefore, everyone thinks they are right. And when it comes to debate, and the one who is most right is usually the one who wins. Not even the one with the strongest amount of might. It doesn't matter how much power you possess, whether you could nuke the entire planet 20 times over. If you believe that you might be wrong and you hesitate, the guy with no power whatsoever will fucking kill you and take over. That's what I'm saying. You can have all the power in the fucking universe. Whoop the fucking do. Are you willing to use it to defend yourself? No? You lose then. Guess what? The guy with no power, no combat training, who slapped you to death in a slap fight, guess what? As pathetic as that sounds, he wins. He's now in charge. His worldview is dominant. Why? You surrendered. Just how it works, buddy. Has nothing to do with might or right. It has everything to do with logistics. If you're in the right place at the right time, it doesn't matter how powerful you are. You can, well, become more powerful. Conversely, if you are in the wrong place at the wrong time, it also does not matter how powerful you are. You're kind of fucked. My argument isn't might makes right. My argument is right and might are just many variables in a list of variables that determine who wins and who loses every conflict in human history. And there's more to it than just two limited concepts that do not fully grasp the entire logistical situation of the battle. I mean, strategy can beat might. Doesn't mean the person's right. Conversely, conviction can stand the test of time against might. Doesn't mean that, aka the belief that that person is right, doesn't mean that might is meaningless. There's always more to it. And I know, just a bunch of rambling nonsense for most people. But that's actually how I view things. That's how my mind works. It's a chaotic mess of conditions. Like, exceptions to every rule and rules to every exception. This is true, except when this is true, but unless this is true, then it's not true, but then this is there as well, so maybe it is true. Basically, everything is situational with me. Even human morality. Believe it or not, I can think of situations where every single heinous action in human history could be justified, and conversely, I can think of situations where every single action that is universally praised is actually the wrong call. I'm not saying that we'll be anywhere close to those situations one way or the other. I'm not saying that traditional morality shouldn't be acted upon in the most part. I'm just saying there's always an exception to the rule and rules to every exception. And to say otherwise is just getting into moral absolutism and rejecting the reality of your situation in favor of making yourself feel better. And I hate when people do that. I don't care what their politics are. I'm just saying. Whether you believe biology is a social construct because it justifies your worldview on trans people, or whether you believe that your God exists and everyone should pray to him to save their souls because his morality is the only morality that matters, you're delusional is my point. People are delusional. You're so worried about losing control that you never stop to think whether or not you had control to begin with. What is control? Think about it. Control is direct, immediate influence over a situation. And that influence is guaranteed. You control it. Like, if I hit my mouse buttons like this, I move. S button, back up. Notice, I have complete direct control of my character. Guess what you don't have control over? Your life. The lives of other people, the world around you, or even really the game for the most part. Sure, I have direct control of my character, but I don't have control of this boss. I don't have control of the power grid. The power could go out at any time and I can still lose, even if I should win by doing the fight properly. I mean, that's the point. You don't have control really over anything, do you? And yet you think you do. But do you really? Do you even have control over yourself? I mean, everyone's like, yeah, I can control myself. And like, to a limited extent, yes, you can. You have free will. I do believe in free will. I'm not saying you don't. What I am saying is, everyone has a limit to how much shit they can take before they lose control of their emotions. If that limit is reached, are you still in control? Legally speaking, you are, which is why murdering someone in a crime of passion is still murder. But logistically speaking, not really. A biological process has overcome your sense of reason, your sense of self, and you are now acting like a savage beast, tearing that person that said something to you apart. Because you're having a really, really, really bad day. Like a type of bad day that John Wick has. Your wife or your husband is dead, someone has murdered your fucking dog, your house is on fire, your best friend was shot in the balls, everything is going to shit, you have lost it. No one could blame you, but at the same time, to say that person's in control of their actions when they go on a killing spree would be somewhat disingenuous. Yes, they still did it. They're still responsible for the damage they caused, legally, but I wouldn't call that person in control. I would say that person has lost it all. Lost control, lost themselves, just lost in general. That person is fucked. RNGesus picked up the 1 and 0 cross of RNG and beat them over the head with it until they had a concussion. They don't have control of shit. They are fucked. They're still legally responsible for their actions because they did it, but even I would be hard-pressed to say, wow, you crossed the line. How dare you? I'd be like, you know what? Understandable. Everything's on fire. Your life went from 0 to 1,000 in about 10 milliseconds. Everything around you is awful, horrible, shitty. You weren't mentally prepared for it, and you snapped and you killed a bunch of people that you thought were responsible. You know, it's kind of hard to say the John Wick reaction is unjustified. You're like, yeah, it's a mass killing spree, but I mean, you know what? Exceptions to every rule, rules to every exception. I'll let you off. They had it coming. They were assholes. They deserve to be deleted. I mean, can you really blame anyone for going full John Wick if their life ends up being just as bad, if not worse, than his? I mean, can you really blame someone for just losing it and going, okay, peace was never an option, civilization's going to burn. Everything is out to get me. I mean, if everything is out to get you, then why wouldn't you react that way? It's like the characters in Final Fantasy 13. I mean, everyone's just, these people are trying to destroy the civilization that pretty much raised them, and they're reacting out of fear and panic. These people are idiots. And I'm like, no, they're desperate people who are trying to survive. When shit hits the fan so damn hard that the only way to survive is to lash out at the world around you and burn it to ash, can you really blame people for lashing out at the world around them and burning it to ash? Can you? I mean, what would you do? Slit your own throat? Just because civilization says you're now a bad person and you've been cancelled? Everyone goes, being cancelled is what everyone deserves. You shouldn't have done that. And then when it happens to them, they're suddenly, actually, I'm going to go full scorched earth on these motherfuckers. Because it's different when it happens to you. Like, think about it. That's why people like that piss me off, because they talk a good game about morality one way or the other, and then something happens where their morality, their delusional worldview doesn't fill in all the blanks, and they have to adapt, suddenly it's different when they do it. This is why I don't have a hard and fast worldview, a moral view. I have learned to go with my gut, situation by situation. I can't be a hypocrite if there is no hard and fast rule for me. It's impossible to be a hypocrite if you judge every situation as its own thing, based off all the data. You may have certain biases one way or the other based off of your preferences, but if every situation is judged individually, it is impossible to be a hypocrite, because no two situations will ever be exactly the same, and if no two situations will ever be exactly the same, then you're not a hypocrite, because you're judging it by the situation by its own merits, not by the merits of previous situations. Even though you may use some of your feelings on previous situations as guidelines for the current situation, it is not exactly the same, and therefore, if you come to a different conclusion, you are not a hypocrite. Because it's different. That's how you should live your life. Every single tactical situation is different. Every single boss is different. Now, they may not be different enough to matter. Kind of like that one boss in Dragonflight, which is basically the third boss of Oculus all over again. It's boring. But it's still technically different. I can point to key differences that ultimately don't amount to anything, but are still technically differences. Like the frost... They have like AoE circles around your character and you place the frost instead of the boss placing the frost around his feet in the circular ring, for example. Whereas in Oculus, the boss placed the ice around his feet. That's a technical difference. It's just when you spread out with like the FF14 style spread marker they put in, it ends up being exactly the same. But it's technically different, but it's not different enough to justify the differences. Kind of like how, in one case, one criminal shot another criminal in the head over their stash of marijuana, where in the other case, it was a stash of cocaine. There's key technical differences between A and B, but the end judgment's the same. You shot people over their stash of drugs, that's murder. Think about it. But, I mean, the drugs were different, so it's a different situation, and therefore you have to judge it individually, even though the conclusion will ultimately be the same, because all the key details that would determine your judgment one way or the other are the same. Unprovoked attack over material goods. Over items that could be considered luxury items that are not necessary for your survival. Now, if it was like the zombie apocalypse, it was like, instead of cocaine or marijuana, it was like food and water that you need for your group and your family to survive. That becomes a bit more morally gray, because on one hand, someone's going to die no matter what, resources are scarce, and therefore, exceptions to every rule, rules to every exception. Now it's justifiable to shoot them in the head, because them refusing to share the food is effectively shooting you and your family in the head with the slow, basically, morally speaking, someone's going to die regardless. Therefore, you are just taking what little control of the situation there is and trying to ensure it is not your group that dies. In other words, you make a tactical judgment, kind of like someone would in war, where you choose your group over the other group, even though someone's going to die no matter what choice you make. And it becomes a bit more morally gray. It's still technically murder, but I mean, who's going to prosecute you? It's the zombie apocalypse. Again, who cares? It's not the same as shooting someone over their cocaine stash. Completely different. But you did the same exact action. You walked into someone's house and blew their brains out. What's the difference? There's plenty of difference. That was my point. Exceptions to every rule, rules to every exception. And this is why it's impossible for someone like me to be a hypocrite, because I never judge the same situation the same way I would judge another situation, and I always judge it based off of my own preferences, based off of the data in front of me. In other words, I do not have a hard and fast moral code. I have guidelines I follow. The rules are like guidelines. Morality's like guidelines. You know, don't shoot some random person on the street. I mean, there's a lot of downsides to it. Unless the random person on the street is trying to set off a nuke, and you know for a fact they're trying to set off a nuke with the button they have in their hand, in which case, yeah, gunning someone down the middle of the road, gang style, might be justifiable, because if you don't, innocent people will die. Yeah, you may not be the authorities, but you don't have time to call the police, you have to make a call, and so you shoot the motherfucker in the head. Again, exceptions to every rule, rules to every exception. That is unironically how my mind works. Every situation is different. Every situation is meaningful in some way, both positive or negative to me. Data is never useless. It's just maybe useless at the moment. Context, context, context. Always have context. And I know what you're going to say. It's like, well, you just got mad at someone attacked someone else's kid. Are you saying there's a way that there's a justifiable reason to attack someone else's kid? Yes. Believe it or not, there was like a plotline in Season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow where I actually disagreed with the Legends call on this. They should have killed that child before he grew up to be the dictator. The kid was clearly a sociopath and fucked up in the head. They should have just killed the kid. They could have stopped the deaths of countless innocents had they just killed the kid. Vandal Savage would have still been a problem, but they could have killed the kid. Yes, there is every single situation on planet Earth, both fictional and real. There is exceptions to it. If you have inside intel that this kid is a fucking sociopath, and you tell him about what he's going to do in the future, he's like, cool, I'll double down, go even harder. You shoot the fucker. Sorry! Oh, but you're advocating for the murder of children. Yeah. Some children deserve post-birth abortions. Some are fucking messed up. Some are just broken. Others deserve to be protected and nurtured. It all depends on the individual. It's also the reason why I'm like, I don't really have a dog in the fight in the whole pro-life, pro-abortion argument, because I'm like, there's exceptions to every rule, rules to every exception. There is no way you could ever make a hard and fast rule for something this nuanced, so I'm not even going to bother to take a side. Other than, well, there's medical technology that could be used to theoretically stop abortions from ever being necessary. I mean, when that comes around, yeah, abortion's bad, but until then, I don't care. I'll be honest. That is my stance. I don't fucking care. But you have to care. I care. No, I don't have to care. I don't care. Do you? Go away. Leave me alone. You're all a bunch of fucking retards. I don't care what side you're on. You're both technically wrong. Because you're trying to apply a hard and fast metaphysical concept to objective reality, which doesn't work. There's exceptions to every rule and rules to every exception. Your worldview is too rigid, therefore you're both wrong. That is my stance. Anyway, time for the twinning. And I'll pause the music because the twinning has a really good soundtrack. Again, exceptions to every rule, rules to every exception. I normally play a playlist of music on stream because I'd rather just listen to some of my favorite songs than listen to the dungeon music. But unless it's a certain dungeon I plan on doing, and then I turn the music back on. Exceptions to every rule, rules to every exception. BGM 100. I don't mind the gold saucer music. Let's go. Let's do the twinning. Finish up that Wondrous Tales. Don't mind the gold saucer music while I wait. Now, where do you want me to go? Cliffhanger. Take me to the cliffhanger. Do I have enough currency for raw? Ah, yes. I can get another chunk of Mandarium. But I'll do the cliffhanger first. Time for the twinning! Get that level 80 dungeon in there. Finish up Wondrous Tales for the week. That way I can go back to Crisis Core off stream and just finish up the post game. Minerva's going down! I'm about to punch the planet in the face so damn hard that I'm going to end up fisting her like Atlas. You know what I'm saying? Costly punch for the win! Minerva's getting her ass kicked! And then I will attempt to figure out if there is a secret ending in Crisis Core Reunion tied to the new sword mechanic. Everyone seems to think there can't be. But at the same time, the sword is stuck at 95% Buster Sword proficiency. 95%! There's gotta be a way to make it to 100%. There's gotta be something hidden behind that, even if it's just an ability and not even an ending. Like an extra third ability to the Buster Sword. There's gotta be more. Well, there's gotta be, but it just feels weird to stop it at 95%. It's just a weird decision to do that. Unless there's some weird lore reasoning that the developers came up with in order to justify it in their heads that they plan to tell us, so we'll stop looking for something. Because, I mean, If there, I'm just saying, if there's no cow level, there's no cow level. But I want to know why there's no cow level, because in this case, it makes sense that using the cow level metaphor, that there's a cow level, you know? It just makes fucking logical sense. Why cap it at 95%? Usually, mechanics like that are capped at 100%. So why cap it at 95? There's gotta be an explanation, even if it's just some lore BS they come up with after the fact to explain why they did it. Like, oh yeah, only Cloud can master the Buster Sword. So yeah, it's at 95% on Zack. Cloud is the true wielder of the Buster Sword. Yes, that's it. I'm like, oh. I wish you would have explained that in-game or in an interview before the release of the game when talking about the proficiency system, so the rest of us didn't just chase our tails around looking for the hidden cow level that didn't exist. I mean, I would love for that confirmation. That way I can stop looking. Because either there's something hidden behind 100% that we just can't get at this moment, either due to a DLC thing or due to some mechanic we haven't uncovered, or Nomura and his team are laughing at us, going, they think the hidden cow level exists. Fucking dumbasses! We got them, right, boys? They think that they're gonna find something. Should we tell them? Nah, having too much fun laughing at them. We'll wait a week or two before doing that interview to spoil their fun. Well, let's just let them think they found something. Dumbasses. One of the two. One of the two. I wouldn't even be mad if it was the latter. I'm just saying. It's one of the two. Either Nomura's having fun with us, trolling the fuck out of us, or there's something more to that Buster Sword proficiency that we haven't uncovered yet. Kind of like Final Fantasy IX, where there was a side quest in the game that was hidden for 16 years before it was found. You know, there's something more here. Whether that something more is just the developers fucking with us, or an actual gameplay thing, is to be determined. But there's always something more behind. There's more to this than just, oh yeah, we forgot to add the last 5%. Sorry, we fucked up. We failed math. Nah, I don't believe that for a second. That would be the most hilarious fuck up in video game history if that was the case. What do you mean? What do you mean we didn't add the last 5%? Oh, sorry about that. Day one patch, here you go. We fucked up, sorry. It was meant to go to 100%, but we forgot. Really? Fucking really? Yes, there we go. Report. There we go. Got rid of some spam on YouTube. On the YouTube side of the stream. That was annoying. Trying to advertise their scam, most likely. I don't even believe it was an actual dating site. Probably a scam. Either way, it's spam. I don't like spam on my stream. Fucking spam. I don't even like spam in real life. Why would I want it on my stream? Okay. Time to head to Rozatan and buy myself a Mendarium meteorite. Though if someone was to spam something I approve of, like, oh no, Jeremy of the Quartering, yeah, like that would ever happen in a million years. But let's just say it did. Like, Jeremy of the Quartering decided to spam Coffee Brand Coffee in my chat like 10 times. I wouldn't ban that. I'm just saying. Weird scam dating sites, get the fuck out. Again, exceptions to every rule, rules to every exception. Okay, I'll buy that Mandarium. Good. Come on. Brat girl. Ha ha ha. Hilarious. Dawn Light. Ha ha ha. Some of these names are funny. And some of them just make me go, okay, what? I don't get, if there's a reference here, I don't get it. Thaddeus Manchian. No idea. Cicina Cinna. I'm guessing that's supposed to be a bastardization of Kane Senna? I don't know. I got nothing on that one. Takatame Goro. Sounds like something from an anime. Whether it is from an anime or just sounds like something from an anime, no idea. Alma Estel. I get the Alma part, Final Fantasy Tactics, Ramza's sister, but Estel? I know what an Ethel is. Estel? Esther is a name, but I mean, Estel? And then there's whatever the fuck that is. QQ. To be honest, I think that's the only relevant part of the name. It's a veiled insult. They probably play PvP a lot, and they just made this character to insult people by default by just being in the group. Like, in PvP, you would probably have the names abbreviated to initials to save space so you could maximize your efficiency in killing people, and when you abbreviate it down to its initials, it's QQ. The other letters probably don't even fucking matter for this Nick. Or if they do, I have no idea what the fuck you're referencing other than something that I do not... I'm not even sure this is this is English. What the fuck is that? Outside of someone having a seizure when they name their character. I mean, what the hell is that, Nick? Whatever. You do you. I just don't know why anyone would pick that name outside of maybe the QQ angle. And if I'm wrong about that, I got nothing. Like, what the hell? How the hell do you even pronounce that? For all I know, I just insulted an entire country, and that's like a name of a famous person in their country. Like it's some weird, I don't know, Middle Eastern name of a famous person in history. And I just, that's, they have national pride and I just shat all over their entire culture because it's shit. And they need to learn how to speak English because holy crap, how the fuck do you pronounce that? I mean, I'm not even going to apologize if that's the case. I'm doubling down. If that's your national hero, I have no fucking idea why you have pride in your nation, but you should probably stop. It's like, what the hell? Pick a champion name you can pronounce. There are unironically French leaders and heroes in history that have names that make more sense than that. I mean, really, look at that. What is that? Why is that? And typical Catboy name. Except there's no Tia or none. It's Aranto because they wanted to sound like a Catboy, but they didn't want to go all in on the lore. So that's why there's the apostrophe in the wrong place. Understood. Makes sense. Carry on, good sir. Or ma'am. Could be a woman. I noticed that in MMOs, especially FF14 with the good-looking, handsome boys, the women tend to play the male characters and the men tend to play the females, as evidenced by the fact I'm playing Mikote female. I'm just saying. Could be a woman playing their precious Catboy. Anyone who thinks only men are thirsty on the internet when it comes to MMOs is dead wrong. FF14 has proved that wrong. There are plenty of thirsty women who play this game. And I mean thirsty. If you drop them in the middle of the ocean, it would dry up within a millisecond thirsty. Holy crap, some of these ladies are thirsty. What can I say? I can't blame them. As a horny bastard myself, I can't blame the ladies for being thirsty. Everyone's thirsty. Especially, we're kind of in a drought of good men and women due to cultural degradation. So yeah, of course everyone's thirsty. We're in the metaphysical dating equivalent of a desert. Of course we're all thirsty. What were you expecting? Sure, there's a few people who have their own personal oasis, but they don't share. Of course we're all thirsty. What are you expecting? Good God. When will the queue pop? Okay. And another Catboy name. Yep. Catboys. I swear, there's so many people like this with nicks like this that play Catboys. There's probably a union, or I guess a free company you can join, or maybe not a free company, but some sort of group outside a free company group. I can't remember what they're called in this game, but that you could probably join. That's like the Catboy Union, where you have to have a specific type of name, and suddenly you're in. At least it feels like it. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous They're everywhere. And that's a bunny boy? Yeah. 70% chance that's being played by a woman. Or a soy boy. One of the two. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just... That is... I swear male VR were added to the game to appeal to women as a thirst trap. In the same way, female VR were added to the game to appeal to men. I mean... I'm sorry. The lore around male Viera is just... You could tell it's a female power fantasy just from reading it. Male Viera are unironically just, oh, you only interact with the woman for the purposes of breeding, and then you're kicked out of the village to defend it. As I said, female power fantasy. You only get to come into my domain when I say so, because I'm the matriarch and I'm in charge. You will fuck me when I say so, and you have no consent in the matter, and then when I am done with you and used you up like a piece of garbage, and you're just thrown out into the wilds to defend the village or become an adventurer. Because, yeah, you've served your purpose, I'm fertilized, get the fuck out. That's literally male VR lore. You are a walking piece of meat, the lore. Female power fantasy, I'm sorry. Or a male power fantasy for guys who have no self-respect and just see themselves as nothing more than a walking piece of meat. One of the two. Me, I have too much fucking self-respect to, you know, view myself in that light. I cannot bring myself to play a bunny boy. To be honest, I have more of a desire to play a cat boy than a bunny boy, because at least the cat boys, depending on the tribe, gets a harem. You know what I'm saying? Now that's the real male power fantasy. I am the nun. I'm the leader of the pride, the lion, you know, and all the ladies, you know, like me and only me, and all the other Tias, they get kicked out of the pride. Go make their own. Fuck them. Oh. My son's a boy? Yeah, I can't have incest in this pride. Get out. You get the boot. Go make your own. Go find your own harem of cat girls. I already have one male heir. That's all I need. And even then, I'm kicking him out. We're pretty much just trading them for the other guy. You know, trading them for the pride next door's male heir. You know, just leader swap. That way the genetic diversity is ensured and there's no incest and it's not creepy. You know, you get what I'm saying? So basically, Viera are like the feminist equivalent of the Mikote, in the sense that the Mikote are patriarchal, the Viera are matriarchal, and the Viera viewed the men the same way the Mikote males view the women. It is what it is. I'm just saying, I'd rather be the top dog than the fucking, you know, resource to be cannibalized. And I honestly don't know why a guy would want to roleplay as a guy that's that cucked. Be honest. I'd rather be the female Vera. Female Vera gets the lion's share of the diet. Though, to be fair, it doesn't really matter if you're all adventurers anyway and you're outside the culture that birthed you. But still, I'm just saying, it's just... It's just something that... It just... Every time I look at a male Viera, I just get the taste of soy in my mouth. And I'm like, never mind, I don't want to play this. Ugh. Skip! I just see all the men in modern Western civilization acting the same, and I'm just like, disgusting. Have some standards. Skip. You want me to do what? Fuck that. I'd rather be by myself. Probably why I relate to the female Makote so damn much. It's like, you want me to be a harem in the harem? You want me to join what? And do what? Fuck that, I'm leaving. I'm becoming an adventurer. You want me to do what? Fuck you. It's like, no, I'm leaving. You can be by yourself in your own little pride world, dummy. I'm going to actually go out and kill shit. I'm just saying, at least in the Makote civilization, the women actually choose that cultural trend. The Seekers of the Sun kind of choose that cultural trend. Like, yeah, they're born into it, but they can leave it any time. Also, they're allowed to live in the village with the men. Whereas the male Viera are kicked out and only brought in for sex. That just seems so callous to me. There's nothing wrong with having a harem, or a reverse harem. I'm just saying, treat them with some dignity. I guess that's the real reason I don't like the male Viera lore as much as the female Makote lore. It's just, treat them with some semblance of dignity. I mean, if they're part of your civilization, treat them like it. Like, imagine wanting to be treated like that. Ugh. I mean, I'm just saying, want to be part of the harem? Yeah, if you want a harem, you should actually treat the harem like they're people. Like they matter. That's just my opinion. I'm not good. I'm just saying, if you're going to be one of those people that prefer a harem, I'm just saying the Middle Eastern style of marriage where it's like 20 women per 1 man. I mean, okay, cool. You do you. You're absolutely certain that's what you want out of life and you live in a region where you can do that? Go right ahead. As long as you treat the women that are your wives like they're people, I don't care. Conversely, the same thing is true with the reverse harem mentality with 1 woman, 1 billion men. As long as all the men are okay with it, know about each other, and you treat them all like human beings, go right ahead. Not my problem. My issue is when it just becomes so utilitarian that it's just like there doesn't seem to be any love involved. It's like, okay. And I feel that way about monogamous relationships too. Ladies, if your husband beats you, your husband's a dick, leave him. There is no love there. You are a means to an end, you are a resource. The reverse is true when a woman treats their man like dirt. It is what it is. Or even in homosexual relationships where that's the thing. I'm just saying. Don't let other people treat you like dirt. Have some pride and stand up for yourself. Good God. There's a difference between humility and being a doormat. And just letting yourself be walked on and treated like dirt. I'm not saying you should be like a narcissistic, egotistical, arrogant piece of shit. I'm just saying, balance! Good God, this dungeon's taking forever. Let me check the Wondrous Tales. Do I have a sticker? I do not. What can I do? If the level 80 dungeon isn't working, withdraw, clear selection. I'm gonna have to trust this, aren't I? Fuck a duck. Okay, fine. BGM 0, turn the music back on. I'm not getting the twinning. And I want to get this done before it hits the 3-hour mark, or at least get close to being done before it hits the 3-hour mark. This queue is taking forever, so... Duty support. 51 to 59, so I need Heaven's Ward. Let's do the vault. I just want to get my Wondrous Tales done, and no one's biting for the twinning. Okay, let's go. It's time for the vault. Come on, Horsfont. You can do it. You can tank enough of this dungeon before you die for the billionth time. Okay, take out the Temple Bannerets.
Away with you.
Okay, take that out. Kill these assholes. And might as well just change the playlist. Yeah, some Legend of Dragoon boss music. Let's go! Speaking of which, tomorrow I will be playing more Legend of Dragoon. Hopefully this time I won't be made a liar and I'll actually get off my lazy ass and do it. Which I probably will, because I've been really wanting to complete that ghost ship. And I'm in the New Game Plus bits of Crisis Core, and Persona 4 Golden. So, yeah, I did my playthrough. I'm in no rush to complete everything in the post-game all at once. I just played the parts I really wanted to play. I'm still going to play the rest of it. I just, you know... I'm not, like, invested in the plot to the point where I'm like, oh, damn it, it's at the good part. I'll do it later, and then I just forget about streaming. I'm literally just doing missions. I mean, I can stop that at any time. Just... literally stop that at any time tomorrow. And just do it anytime I feel like. I'm in no rush to kill Minerva. I will kill Minerva, though. I've already killed her, like, once. Or twice. Was it once or twice? I can't remember how many times I've killed her in the PSP version, but the point is, I've heard all the new voice acting stuff. It was awesome. I'm already pretty much satisfied with my playthrough. I just want to finish on my own time. The new Zack voice acting was kind of... it's hit or miss, to be honest. There are parts I like more than the original, or just as much as the original, and there are parts that I think were done better in the PSP with the original voice actor, but, But to be honest, I kind of feel that way about A Realm Reborn into the rest of FF14 with some of the characters, where some of the characters just, in my opinion, there were moments where if the original voice actor did it, it wouldn't have been as awesome. But at the same time, there are moments where I feel like the original voice actor could have done it better. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a mixed bag, you know? Like, there's scenes in Shadowbringers with Thancred where the original voice actor probably wouldn't have worked as well for how emotional those scenes are. Especially with Rean. But conversely, there are scenes where Thancred tries to act like his usual spy self. That probably would have worked a lot better with the old voice actor, but there was more to the character added, so it doesn't make... You get what I'm saying. It's just mixed bag. Mixed bag. Every voice actor, every actor has their strengths and weaknesses when it comes to certain aspects of a character, and the two voice actors that known for playing Zack are no exception. Certain scenes are done better, certain scenes were done worse. It is what it is.
Focus. Release. Away with you.
Ow. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's not even the voice acting per se. It's the voice direction changes that aren't as good. Like, for example, in the PSP version, when Zack is talking to Sung in the Air Raid Limit Break, he goes, "I'm trying! I'm trying!" Like when Sung says, "Is this the end?" Whereas in the reunion version, he says, the voice actor says, "Not if I can help it." Which, yeah, it's more of a Zack. It's more, to be honest, I think that's more Zack-like, what Zack would say. You're right, but I like the whole "I'm trying, I'm trying." Like, it was funny to me. I like that. I just like how it was said. I just like the whole I'm trying. It's like, yeah. Then Sung comes in with the helicopters like, "You're not trying hard enough, bitch. Time for an air raid." It works either way. I just prefer the PSP version, you know? It's a preference thing. It's not bad. It works for the character. I'm just used to the other one. And I also like the whole I'm trying. But then you have, like, limit breaks. Like the Octaslash limit break with Sephiroth, where Sephiroth goes, "Concentrate." And he goes, "I'm feeling it." And it's exactly the same, pretty much, despite the difference in voice acting and voice actor, as the one in the PSP version. It just works. And then there's the Lucky Stars limit break with Cisne, where it's like, Cisne goes, "You can do it, Zack." And the PSP version, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm on fire now." Whereas the voice actor in the reunion version, the remaster version, is just, "Oh yeah, I'm on fire now." And it just doesn't have enough oomph, you know? I feel like they should have redid that take and added a bit more oomph to it. Like, "Oh yeah, I'm on fire now!" And it doesn't work as well for Zack's character, because Zack would be more enthusiastic about it. Like, "Oh yeah, I'm on fire now!" Again, it's just hit or miss. I mean, that's what happens when you redo the voice acting of a game, you know? It's just hit or miss. Okay. Time to die. Time to kill this face of the hero. God damn it, you're not the only hero. There's the warrior, there's me, the warrior of light. There's technically Harsh Font, I would count in. Then there's Zack, then there's every other final thing. There's the sign. You know what? There's a lot of heroes. Too many heroes. Even Elidibus counts. God damn it, there's too many. Quick, someone do an Umbral Calamity. We need to thin the herd. Too many cows, not enough beef. Okay. Time to kill these assholes. Die already?
Away with you.
Got him. These fucking friars have been fucked. Like the friar fucks they are. Not to be confused with Friar Tuck. That's a completely different scenario. The Black Knight must die. Uh-oh. Don't stand in that. Okay. And dead. Oh look, it's the bull.
I'll cut you to pieces.
Yeah. Okay, time to take on Sobrino.
I will not yield to you.
Yeah, whatever, He-Man. Okay. Faith unmoving. Oh no, he knocked me back. Oop. Don't want to stand in that. Take that. Come on, Horsefont, you can take it. You can take it. It's not a magical lance. You're not dead yet. Yeah. Uh-oh. I might want to move here. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to be knocked into a black hole. That would suck. Okay. Hyperdimensional slash. Okay, Sir Grinno is no longer grinning. Nah, yeah, title is a Knight of the Heavens. Wrong way. Wrong way. The treasure coffer is always placed in the direction you should go. Good game design 101. That way you can't ever get lost. I swear they do that for people like me with no sense of direction. It's like you get turned around the fight, you're too busy focusing on the fight, and then you're like, okay, where did I even come from? I wasn't paying attention. I'll just go this way, and then you end up at the beginning of a dungeon again. It's like, wrong way! Wrong way! Not all who wander are lost. Yeah, well, I'm one of those that is the exception to that rule, Vel, and I'm sorry. If I'm wandering, it's probably because I'm fucking lost. It's like, where the hell was I again? My headcanon for my Warrior of the Light is my Warrior of Light has the same sense of direction I do, and the reason I'm on an adventure is because I can't find the way home no matter how much I try. And then I eventually stumble into the plot, and the rest is history. It's like, Ul'dah? What the hell is Ul'dah? Ah, who cares? I'll check it out. Yes, I'm an adventurer. That's why I'm here in the cart. Yeah, that's it. I'm not lost. I'm not lost. I was on an adventure. I'm an adventurer that fights for coin. Yeah, totally. Can you point me back to where I came from, please? Where the hell am I? Okay. Time to take on these knights. Okay. Time to die. Come on. Time to die, you stupid priest. This is what you get for whispering or listening to the whispers. Yes, that's it. Whispering to the listeners. That too. You're that guy in the movie theater who just whispers into my ear. It's like, how are you enjoying the movie? I would enjoy it more if you jumped off the nearest bridge and died. Thank you very much. Shut the fuck up. I mean, I would prefer you just came out and said it instead of going into my ear and going, how are you enjoying the movie? It's like you're solely picking on me. Why can't you fuck everyone else over along with me? Why do you have to pick on me? It's like you're picking a fight. I'll break your fucking neck. How about that? I mean, I'd rather someone just yell at the top of their lungs or a baby cry in the middle of the good part than some asshole going, how you like the movie? Only to you. Because if you get annoyed with them, everyone else gets annoyed with you because they can't hear what they said. It's like, fucking A! It's like, it's even more dickish than just talking. I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. If I'm going to talk in the middle of the movie, I'm going to talk to everyone, you know? I'm not going to single you out. You don't fucking matter to me. It's like, I hate it when people are, like, whispering during the movie. It's way more annoying than just, you know, talking. Just talk if you're going to talk. Just talk. Enunciate, damn it! If I'm the only one that can hear you, then you better hope that extends to your screams. Because, the urge to strangle you has increased. And here's hoping that I have the self-restraint and the moral conviction to avoid the jail sentence. Because, holy crap, I'm gonna fucking break your fucking neck! Okay. So, Chelabut needs to die. Heaven's Flame. Yay, the final curtain! I love the final curtain. Such a nice, lovely fabric.
I shall show you something special.
Okay, take out the Holy Flame. Mercy. What's that, a breakfast cereal? You disgust me. Oh, because I'm a Reaper. How prejudicial. What's next? You're gonna judge the inevitable Sin Eater themed class? No, seriously, they should add a Sin Eater themed class. I mean, if they're going to try to avoid the traditional core FF job, iconic FF jobs from now on from what I hear, even though I'm not entirely sold on that. Or at least make a job that's somewhat similar to them, but with different theming, like more FF14 themed and unique. Which, to be honest, I think is where they should go. They should make a Sin Eater themed job instead of Holy Knight. Basically Holy Knight, Retribution Paladin, but it's Sin Eater themed. They should do that. I mean, kind of like the first equivalent of a Reaper, you know? Instead of teaming up with Void Ascent, you team up with Sin Eaters for your power. That would be cool! Especially if they do a time skip at some point with the first.
For the House of Levier!
You know, I'm just saying, Sin Eater job. I'm not sure what you would call it. Like, what's the opposite of a Reaper? Or you could make it a caster, and it's a complete opposite of a Reaper, in which case... What would you call that? The opposite of a Reaper. Preserver? But that would be more of a healer job. What would a DPS caster be? For that. Sinner? I don't know. Not sure what they would call it. But I'm just saying, it'll be a cool name nonetheless. Sinner? There's a spin-off FF game coming out called the FF Final Bar Line. So it's another music game. Got it. One of those musical ones. I can't pronounce that name. How is it pronounced? I can't pronounce that. And of course, I don't even get a single fucking line out of this. All this effort, over 3 hours, no line. I'm pissed. Well, there's always next week. I'll get them next time. I'll get it next time. Yeah. Well, not keen on rhythm games? No, I like rhythm games. I'm just saying I can't pronounce the title. Is it theater rhythm? Is it supposed to be like theater and rhythm combined together? Is it pronounced theater rhythm? Or theorhythm? Because I know there was like theatrical elements to it. So is that how you pronounce that game? Theater rhythm? Or theater rhythm? I like rhythm games. I just hate weird words. Like, or combo words that don't exist. I prefer Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Now that's a title. Melody of Memory? There you go. No weird made up shit. It's like there's words in the English language to describe this shit. Use them. But it's not as unique and catchy. Sometimes unique and catchy is bad and sounds stupid. Well, that's all for my weekly whatever stream of Final Fantasy XIV. If you like what you're seeing, please give me a follow if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for The Legend of Dragoon, which this time I will actually attend my own streams instead of just binging Crisis Core and Persona 4 like an idiot. Hopefully I'll see you then. In any case, this has been Cat Knight Alexander. See you later. Bye-bye, and I'll just raid whoever. Echo Esports is probably still doing the Race to World first. Might as well just raid them. Fuck it. Reading now.